Hello there. If you look, you'll see that I have kind of a new to the chest harness camera. It's old and it has issues and it just keeps shutting down. I thought that I might be able to come out here and use it because it's smaller and it's lighter. The um, cell phone that I wear on my chest that you guys have seen on these videos, it kind of works and kind of doesn't. I can get decent shots sometimes of reeling in fish, but it doesn't have the field of view. The GoPro that most of the guys use that are doing the outdoor stuff, there's a reason they use that GoPro, and it's because the field of view is wider and larger. Um, and on top of that, that cell phone is really, really big. It's really, really bulky. And I was trying to find another alternative. As usual, I am running like a skeleton budget. you know, I don't have the budget these other guys have got, and I'm not seeking to monetize a channel or make a business out of this or a living off of this. I'm just trying to share, some time on the water with you guys. So I have to work with what I have. So I guess I'm going to end up having to go back to that cell phone in this harness, but I might just abandon the harness altogether and shoot angles from the bank. I am bank fishing anyway. As long as I can get, shots of the water and stuff like that, I might be all right. We'll see. But I've been throwing a Hellgrammite in here on a 1/16 ounce jig head. I've been throwing a bunch of other stuff in here, and I haven't got anything, and this is like a sweet spot. I think what has happened, we had a cold snap. We keep getting cold snaps. We'll have nice warm weather and the fish will start biting, and then we get a cold snap and everything kind of shuts down. So I don't know if I'm going to catch anything today. So maybe it's a moot point whether or not I got a chest cam or not. Don't know. But yeah, that's where we're at right now, and so bear with me until I figure this out. Now let's go down, upstream rather, see if we can get anything to bite in that direction. Yeah, I'm not seeing signs of bait fish or anything else around here. I think the cold snap has kind of shut them down for a little bit. They'll be back as soon as we get a couple of good stretches of nice warm weather, particularly at night in the 40s or better. They'll come back. I'm gonna kind of fish against the current. I know that one of the things you should understand, a lot of times, the majority of the time, in my opinion, what you want to really do is you want to try to fish a bait naturally, and I'm hung up. Anyway, what I was saying, I had to go and get my lure. You can see it was well hung up because the hook has been opened up a little bit. Anyway, you want to fish a bait naturally, and in a river or a place where there's current, most of the time, the smaller bait fish particularly, or the smaller types of critters that the fish are eating, they're not going to have the strength to swim upstream, and if they do, they're certainly not going to swim at a very, very fast rate. They're going to struggle. The bigger fish would struggle in this kind of current. And so the fish are not going to recognize that bait as natural, particularly with a bait like this, because this is a bait. I can swim this bait. This was one of my favorite baits. I can swim this in a deviation of this, which is this has got like a swim tail on it, and they make a curly tail. Also, that tail will swim too, but it curls up. And these are some of the best baits on a river that you could possibly throw. They catch all kinds of fish. So if they're not hitting this, particularly this white color, there's not hardly anything active in here. But sometimes with a bait like this, I can swim this bait. I can put a spinner on this bait and use it like a spinner bait, make it a spinner bait. I can throw it out and just let it drop and watch it, and a lot of times the fish will pick it up like that. Or I can throw it out and let it hit the bottom and just jerk my rod a little bit and take up the slack and jerk it and take it and scoot it along the bottom. And the fish will see that, and depending on what they want, if they're eating, they're going to hit that. They just are. This is one of the best baits, in my opinion, for multi-species type fishing, which is what I do. I don't really target very often a particular species unless I am fishing ultralight, and then I am targeting the smaller little panfish. And I use a downsized version of this grub, but this grub on an 1/8 ounce head will catch panfish as well. I've done it for years. It's just a really versatile bait. And if they're not hitting this bait, they're not biting. They're not eating. So, I'm gonna go fish some more, but this video may end here. And I'm sorry that I didn't catch anything for you, but I thought it was more important for you to understand that sometimes, particularly when spring is approaching, but you still got, like this is March. In Virginia, it could be nice and warm. It could be 70 degrees one day in March, and then I could have 2 foot of snow and 14 degrees outside the next day. It all depends on what Virginia wants to do. And so, and that's important because you may be, I mean, if you're in Florida or you're down south in Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, places like that, when March rolls around, it kind of starts warming up. I know, I grew up in Alabama. Around here, winter tends to try to hang on a lot of times. Colder weather rolls in, and you just have to deal with that and understand that there are going to be times when, like, okay, they were biting real good a couple weeks ago. They're not biting right now. If they are, they're biting really, really lightly. And I am trying to fish really, really slow so that hopefully I will, catch anything in this water that might be hungry. But those are the odds that are dealt to you sometimes, depending on where you live and the kind of water that you're fishing. So, bless you. I'll talk to you later.